Ichiro Oda's ongoing all-time classic shonen manga series continues to ramp up the tension with the release of One Piece's 1111th chapter. And first off, congratulations are in order. Very few creators have the privilege and honor of hitting those quadruple sticks in their entire careers. It's well deserved though. This is Oda-sensei we're talking about after all. That said, keep those eyes peeled as we walk you through One Piece chapter 1111 and join us as we unwrap what this installment might mean for the rest of the Egghead arc and the final saga at large. As always, full spoilers are ahead, guys. You've been warned, now let's sail right through it. What you can expect from One Piece chapter 1111. One Piece's previous installment gave us an unexpected yet welcome twist when the spider-like world government elder, J. Garcia Saturn, brought this whole crew of monstrous fascists to Egghead Island. And it's quite a doozy, as his fellow transformed contemporaries didn't waste any time to absolutely decimate the pacifistas' ranks and poke a hole in the Frontier Dome. And here we thought Luffy and the gang finally had the upper hand. Goes to show how Oda-sensei is a master at subverting expectations. Chapter 1111 picks up moments after the elder Marcus Mars, in his Itsumade form, a gigantic monstrous vulture-like bird, had just busted through the Frontier Dome. The winged elder scours the airspace with a now broken barrier and spots Jinbe in the process. The Knight of the Seas is no slouch though, as he catches sight of Mars in the distance. But the Straw Hat helmsman knows what's up. He nearly freezes in his tracks as he feels just how immense and foreboding Mars's haki is. So, Jinbe rushes towards Zoro with no second to waste. He panics and tells the swordsman that they have to go and regroup with the others this instant. As we all know by now, Zoro's a bit hard-headed to say the least. Whether it's his obliviousness to the looming threat above them, or it's just that good old-fashioned Bushido code, Zoro refuses to come with Jinbe and notes that his duel with Rob Lucci isn't over yet. The Niku Niku Nomi user is still standing. Yeah, Rob's torso looks like prime-cut Canadian bacon right now, but Zoro's got a point. It ain't over till one of them is eating canvas. And it's not like the green-haired Straw Hat swordsman is just being obstinate for the sake of being obstinate either. He's right. Beat up as he is, Rob's still conscious, as he and Jinbe hear the jaguar-like marine let out a growl. In the meantime, Sanji gives the tusked Straw Hat another call and panically asks if he's gotten Zoro yet, to which Jinbe springs into action and tells Sanji that he's on it. Say what you will about Jinbe and his floral shirt, but the man knows how to get the job done. He basically comes up behind Zoro and puts him in a chokehold, dragging him away from the duel, but not before scolding the Master Swordsman that he's already won. There's no point in getting that KO win. Believe us, Zoro, once you realize the kind of threat even one of these elders pose, you'll hightail it out of there. Jinbe spots Rob, who has just recovered from Zoro's devastating three-sword style, Kokoba Madaragari technique, as the Vice Admiral rushes towards them. But you can always trust the Knight of the Seas to do his comrades a solid. So Jinbe unleashed Fishman Karate 5000 Brick Fist to slow down the Feral Marine and cover their escape. Rob barely has time to defend against Jinbe's technique. It doesn't hit any vital organs, but between eating up Zoro's Madaragari and blocking those Brick Fists, Rob loses so much energy that he transforms back into his human form. Moments later, Itsumade, the name of Marcus Mars's bird-like form, descends upon the weakened Vice Admiral and asks him about York's location. Ever the good soldier, Rob answers and tells the winged elder that she's still tied up in the control room inside Building A's 4th floor. All the while, Jinbe hoofs it towards their friends, literally carrying Zoro on his back. The Straw Hat swordsman finally sees Marcus and realizes that, yeah, maybe he should have listened to Jinbe the moment he told him that they should get as far away from Egghead Island as possible. Back to Rob's location, the Vice Admiral gives his superior a full status report. He tells Marcus the names of the 2 Straw Hats who had gotten away from them just now, adding that there are 5 more of them and a couple other Vegapunk satellites at large. Rob tells the Winged Elder that they're planning on leaving the island by way of the Labostratum's back entrance, but they still have 85 Cypher Pole agents and 4 Seraphim that they can use. Finally, Rob closes his report by telling Marcus that they have 6 minutes before Vegapunk's pre-recorded message is released throughout the known world. The vulture-like creature commends his subordinate and takes wing, ready to lay waste to the island, but Rob has one request for the elder: to spare Kaku, his trusted partner, who's currently recuperating in the control room. The Neko Neko no Mi user gets on his knees and begs Marcus. Unsurprisingly, the Winged Elder rebukes Rob's humble plea and tells him that singling out a lone insect within a hive marked for extermination would be impossible. Wow. Just wow. Nothing inspires company loyalty better than having your boss tell you you're a freaking insect. Somewhere else on the island, Gear 5 Luffy celebrates his reunion with Dory and Brogy. He can't believe that the giant old-timers are there with him. The giant pirate captains tell the rubbery protagonists that they barely recognized Luffy the first time they saw him, and that what spurred them to set sail to Egghead Island was the news of a god in Elbaf, referring to Luffy being Nika reborn. Of course, Luffy being Luffy, replies by telling Dory and Brogy that he has no clue what they're talking about. A short distance away, J. Garcia Saturn and Topman Warkery, a couple more of those dastardly elders, comment that the giant's arrival to the scene would put a kink in their plans. Dory and Brogy square up to the spider-like J. Garcia and the gigantic boar creature that is Warkery. Do they recognize the threat? Of course not. In fact, seeing the monstrous elders reminds the giants about the good times they had in the jungles of Elbaf. Luffy doesn't share the same sentiment though, so he tells Dory and Brogy that they should put some distance between them and the elders. Dory reassures the rubber hero that that's what they're planning to do anyway, as Brogy reveals that Sanji had given them the sitrep earlier. We also get to see a map of Egghead Island at present. The Straw Hats are currently still scattered into 4 groups, but they all have one goal: to reach the southwestern part of the island, board the Elbaf ship, and sail as far away from the elders as possible. Dory blows his horn to signal the rest of their giant pirate crew that they've successfully located Luffy and that it's time to get the heck off Egghead Island. All their comrades hear this and gladly follow the order after the resounding beatdown they gave the Marines. Warkery realizes what Dory just did and tells Luffy and the giants that he has a horn of his own, one that will make them realize that escape from the elders is futile. The boar-like elder lets out a huge roar that almost blows away Dory and Brogy from where they stand. It's so loud and powerful that trees and buildings nearly topple in its wake, and everyone, even the ships around Egghead Island shores, can hear it. The Marines witness bolts of energy coming from deep within the island, and all they can do is stand in awe and wonder what's going on there. Dory and Brogy are impressed when they see Luffy still standing after Warkery's roar. They turn their attention toward the monstrous elder and ask the boy who this guy is, to which the Straw Hat captain simply says that he's some government big shot. Warkery suddenly springs up and lunges at them, but Dory and Brogy block the elder's sharp tusks using their Sun Shield's Fallen technique. Warkery asks the giants why they're protecting the Straw Hats, especially Luffy. And in another classic shonen moment, Dory and Brogy tell the elder that Luffy is their buddy. Nobody needs any other reason than that. The giant captains then counter with Split Skilda, socking Warkery right in the jaw and sending him flying. Witnessing this, J. Garcia tells Dory and Brogy that they can get erased from the history books along with the Straw Hats if that's how they want to play it. The Arachnid Elder spits out a hail of poisonous black pebbles toward the giant captains. Luffy springs into action when he sees this and grabs a tree, uses his teeth to carve it into a baseball bat, and even gives it a coat of paint before striking the incoming venom pebbles back to J. Garcia like he's One Piece's very own Munetaka Murakami. Luffy laughs as he tells the elders to have a taste of their own medicine, but it's cut short when he discovers that J. Garcia's little black balls aren't just poisonous, they explode on contact. Dory and Brogy take the opportunity to make their escape. They even celebrate, thinking that the elders are dead after that explosion, but the Straw Hat captain warns them that these old fascists are built different. They can't die. Even Dory and Brogy are surprised to find out about the elders' apparent immortality as the trio hoof it away towards their ship. Meanwhile, Nami checks in with Jinbe, and the Knight of the Seas tells her that he and Zoro are on their way. Somewhere else, Bonnie and her team reach their ship but discover that the other vice admirals are blocking their path. At Building A, Marcus Mars tears through the 4th floor as he asks a terrified York for information about a specific room. At the same time, Kizaru's men tend to his injuries on board their vessel when he receives a message. It says something much bigger than a giant has suddenly appeared from Egghead's northwestern shore, that not even the flames ravaging the island can stop its march. The metallic creature, the Iron Giant, mutters 3 words as it makes its trek: "Forgive me, Joy Boy." Our thoughts and theories about One Piece Chapter 1111. We can always trust Oda-sensei to maintain a high degree of excitement even in chapters that would otherwise be considered as quote-unquote down issues, where he's gearing up for another big reveal or action set piece in the future. For the most part, we're not getting a lot of those tasty plot breadcrumbs that Oda usually leaves for his readers, and to be honest, it's nice to take a breather from all the theorizing every once in a while. That is to say, One Piece's 1111th chapter gives us the payoffs we've been waiting for since the last issue, such as the aftermath of Zoro's battle with Rob Lucci and Jinbe's subsequent rescue of the Straw Hat Swordsman. But it's not like this installment of Oda-sensei's seminal shonen series is completely bereft of plot developments and hints of what's to come. For one, the way Marcus Mars easily dismissed Rob Lucci's request to spare Kaku brings us fans closer to becoming more convinced that he's eventually going to switch sides before all's said and done. And let's let's not forget, the elders themselves don't even try to hide their disgust for the mere mortals of the One Piece universe, with Marcus dismissively calling Rob an insect right after receiving the Vice Admiral's extensive report, one that Rob literally bled for. What can we say? The elders are jerks of the highest order, and we can't wait for their comeuppance. It wouldn't be a stretch to think that even Kizaru's about to turn that white cloak of his against the world government, considering there's already speculation that he's the one who fed Luffy all that food, which helped the Straw Hat activate his Gear 5 transformation a few chapters ago. And then there's Bonnie and her group, who have now come face to face with a few of the other Marine officers on their way to the ship. But when we think about this one, we'd have to say we're still not entirely convinced that a showdown is about to happen. Remember, as of chapter 1111, only half of the pacifistas have been destroyed. All Bonnie needs is a single mechanized Kuma to absolutely crush the Marines in front of them. Barring a development that they will say the pacifistas are completely gone in the upcoming chapters, we wouldn't be too worried about the time-manipulating pirate princess and her friends. But perhaps the biggest development we got from this installment of One Piece is the legitimate return of the Iron Giant. We've already seen it stir from its sleep when Luffy activated his Gear 5 transformation, and the drums of liberation echoed throughout Egghead Island, but seeing it in action is a whole other mind-blowing thing. It's curious that he keeps saying, "Forgive me, Joy Boy," though. In fact, it's a bit alarming. Our guess is maybe the Iron Giant will take on the Elders while Joy Boy, Luffy, and his crew make their escape off Egghead Island. Now, the Iron Giant might be a scary freaking superweapon, but chances are high that it can't take on the full force of the Elders' transformed selves all at once. So maybe it's apologizing because it's about to head into a suicide mission? In any case, only time will tell. And boy, what a wait it's going to be, as Oda Sensei is taking a 3-week break to recharge his batteries and, according to him, trying to figure out what the hell the One Piece is actually. What did you think of One Piece chapter 1111? Got other theories about how the story will play out? Sound off in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell to be the first to see our videos. Catch you again soon, guys.